welcome once again. And I am dancing and excited because if you've been with us for the past 2 episodes, you've had a whale of a time. You've been as inspired as we have been as we listen to the Honorable Commissioner in Enugu State, Mr. Chika Uwoke, who shared candidly and generously his journey with us. A brilliant young man, a pharmacist, a very, very successful entrepreneur. He's been through it all. He's scaled all ladders. He's doing what he is doing. But now listen to the last part of the story, which I promise you will inspire you as well. Stay with us. When we come back, the Honorable Commissioner will continue his story.
I think it's Father Kuka that always says this. You know, the educated, the very intelligent, and all the professors and people abandoning politics, and then they let the dropouts and the dregs of the society to determine what happens to them. So you shy away from there, and then you leave the policy making and all that to people you think are incapable. So who is incapable? So I have always been interested in what happens in my community, in my society. And one of my inspirations is the desire to make a difference in people's lives. I know where I'm coming from. I know that I have been a victim of some failures in our society. How do we then correct those if I shy away from getting involved? So, my current position in Enugu State came as a surprise to me.
Really?
Because, yes, it came as a surprise to me because I didn't plan for it and I didn't prepare for it. But it is one of those testimonies of, you know, your life, your actions speaking for you, even when you are quiet. The current governor of Enugu State, His Excellency Dr. Peter Mba, is a private sector person. He has outstanding characteristics of somebody that is driven to succeed. And he has succeeded so much in the private sector. He has, in the oil sector, he has built so much capacity that he doesn't even need to come down to be a governor to build his wealth and all those things. So during the course of the campaign, I came to encounter him and we spoke. You know how Jesus called his disciples and how some went to him and said, "We want to follow you." I threw myself into the campaign leading up to his election because I could see myself in him and I could see the benefits.
You saw
that my
service.
people,
This
yes,
is somebody who
yes,
is ready to serve.
We shouldn't just miss this opportunity. That's what I was saying to myself. So I came back and told my wife, I want to participate fully in this month's campaign and election. Before now, I wasn't so much into all this. So we followed it through. You know, it was a tough battle, but at the end of the day, we succeeded. So when I got a call to say my name has been submitted to be a commissioner, like that, I was confused, and I said to my wife, "I can't do this." And she said, "Of course, you know you can't do this. Our business is growing, our children are young. How can you go there?" And it took us like a whole week to pray. So I said, "Oh, let us pray." We left straight from that call to Lostera, to the chapel. And we knelt down there and said, "God, whatever you want, let it just play out the way you want it. In the interim, let me go and report to Enugu." And I moved down to Enugu and never came back. my wife had to send my things down because from screening to inauguration and all that. So it wasn't a conscious decision to go into politics, driven by any pecuniary interests. I felt I needed to support somebody who had volunteered himself and that I had full confidence in that is going to do well for my state, for a start. And that support now pushed me closer. And when he ascended the office, he said, okay, come and join me. Let's continue that process. So that is why I am where I am now. Perhaps I'm not yet a politician yet, but a servant. Because I'm working with somebody that I...
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
You are the kind of politicians we want in Nigeria and that we need.
Yeah.
We want servants. We don't want masters.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing this because I find it profoundly inspiring.
Mm.
It's a message of hope for me personally, as old as I am. First of all, that there were people, and I always keep saying that this particular election, no matter what, some of the outcomes were ones that opened our eyes, our hearts, to nation building.
Yeah.
You found a candidate that you saw would truly serve if he went in there, the good Lord willing.
Yeah.
And this is what, as a young successful man, motivated you to support him.
Yeah.
And I would like to say, I don't know him, but to congratulate him and to say to you that I think he's already living out what you thought you saw in him by the way he decided, without your necessarily having to lobby and so on, appoint you a commissioner because he really wants to deliver.
Yeah.
And so we are encouraged, we're excited. We wish both of you all God's guidance as you serve your people and deliver.
Thank you.
And this brings me to sharing something that is also very dear and precious to us, why Chika is here on set with us.
Yeah.
Before all this happened, before this political story that you told, you had come to a few of our C4C events and seen our passion for supporting, empowering young people and indeed encouraging and training them to become entrepreneurs. And so one of the most exciting things that happened since you're becoming the commissioner, let me remind our audience that Chika is the Commissioner for Labor and Employment in Enugu State, was that you actually reached out to C4C and said, this is our common interest.
Yeah.
We need to go ahead and now do something concretely with you. Yeah. And so we in C4C are very, very excited, and we're looking forward to a discussion that has indeed started. How we can work closely with you and with the Enugu State government in galvanizing a movement of well-prepared, equipped young people in Enugu State who will become successful entrepreneurs. Yeah. I see this as a win-win.
Sure.
You yourself, you're already a role model. You've done it. You know what it takes. It is a passion you already had even before. It's not because, I was given a job, as a commissioner for labor, now let me do something. And so I want to tell our audience that we've begun the discussion where we as C4C, with 5 years track record, we've shown you over and over again our products can work with Chika and the Enugu State government so that it's not an impossible dream, it's a realistic dream. In a few years' time, Enugu State will boast of some of the best, successful, sustainable youth entrepreneurs in the country.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Ketch. With the inception of every government, you you attract all sorts, you know, people who want to sell, market their value propositions to you. And when I was announced as the Commissioner for Labor and Employment, I celebrated it because within me, it was like a prayer answered. I know what it means to empower people. The mandate that we have is to create people that will drive economic growth in our place. And business sits at the center of that. And the governor said to me that he took his time to match each one of us to the areas where they will do well. Wow. So, finding myself in that position, I started cracking my head immediately, thinking, okay, who do we work with? And I didn't think far before saying, aha, C4C, this is the time. Because
this is the time.
This is the time, yeah. And Enugu State, under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Peter Mpa, is very fertile for the dream, the vision of C4C to come to life. And if not that we are in an environment where we underappreciate things, I think you should be, you and your dream, you should be somebody that will be pulled from the entire 36 states of the Federation now, where you should be delivering value. But I'm happy.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step.
Yeah.
We begin with Enugu State.
Yes, so I'm very happy that we are right there in the front of the queue. And the governor, the secretary to the state government, whom I have discussed this with, our arms are wide open because how does it go in the Bible? The laborers are few, and there's so much work to be done in our states.
The harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few.
Yeah, so please, I am going to beg that you don't listen to any other state for now. so that we can marry our collective dreams together. And C4C would be the special purpose vehicle we would use to deliver this value for our people. We are lucky that we have a governor that speaks the language, understands the language, and wants results. The few proposals.
It will be a pleasure to meet His Excellency.
You will definitely meet him.
I feel excited that we do indeed have people like that.
Yeah, I will be so proud to say that he is the number one in this country now in terms of a leader that would change the story of this country entirely. He has done it in the private sector, in the public sector. He has already started doing it. If you speak to people from Enugu, they will tell you. So he knows and he believes that to drive economic growth, to maintain social stability, to increase the revenue of the states, to grow our GDP, civil servants are not going to do this for us. So it's the private sector. We need to empower people to create more businesses, to fund our healthcare, to fund our infrastructural development, to fund our education,
to fund their own feeding, to grow themselves and their families, to grow the state.
So he has three strategic objectives. Number one is to establish peace and security in the states. Number two is inclusive economic development. Number three is communal prosperity. In this triangle, business sits at the center of it all. Because if people are engaged doing their businesses, they won't have time to join all these groups causing problems here and there. So
particularly the young people. I keep saying that.
Yes.
They won't have time for any
They won't have time. All these fragilities, you see, is because they are there, unemployed, unengaged, and then they become fertile ground for the breeding of everything evil. So bringing them to teach them businesses and helping them to grow those businesses is fundamental to our growth. So I think among the 36 states, Enugu should be the one prepared for the driving of the dream of C4C. I have seen what you have done, what you're still doing with C4C, and I was already getting agitated that Enugu people are not well represented in the scheme of affairs. The last time I came for the function,
Yes.
it was obvious that I couldn't see an Enugu person there. So this is the time now.
The time for Enugu State
Yes,
has come.
it has come.
So help us, God. On our side as C4C, we promise you, because we see this as a mission.
Yeah.
I have on this show repeatedly, as we showcased our entrepreneurs, we have evidence. It's not it's not talk. Begged that states need to take it on in the end, and that is the way we scale up.
Yeah.
What we are offering is to the technical expertise and knowledge and experience that we have acquired in doing. We have proof of concept. If every state takes it on in this country and every year brings out well-qualified young entrepreneurs who are working in a sustainable manner in their states, Nigeria is made. Yeah. This is the backbone of what we need to do. But let me also say that the other plans you have in your mind resonate so well with us. We are also aware of the fact that it's not everybody who can become a business person, okay? And therefore the employability for the many, many other young people that are there. When we started the program in C4C, it was a program called Employment Initiative, so that it looked at employment in terms of those who want to become an entrepreneurs and can be helped to become successful entrepreneurs, but also those who are not everybody is cut out for business, but positioning them so that they're more employable. And that is also there. So it is our hope that as we come for the meeting, which we need to fix soon to discuss with the Enugu State government, we will also discuss with you ideas we had in the program for supporting other young people, and whether it's through preparing them for certificate programs or other kinds of programs so that they're more employable. I was particularly stirred and stimulated by your talking about getting, for instance, educational institutions in this country to open up to lectures on entrepreneurship and things like that, so that each department or unit or, profession is, thinking about enterprise. But also we find that our young people come out of university without really understanding what it is to work. Let me tell you, from our database of entrepreneurs we've turned out, we found that approximately 80 to 90% of them are not doing what they trained in the university to do.
Of course.
That was very interesting.
Yeah.
They're not doing. One was, sometimes they were not well advised for taking on the course. But the other one was actually a message of hope. Education remains important no matter in what field.
Generically,
Once you have that solid education, you can become whatever else you want to be.
Absolutely.
Technology makes it possible today. So our young people are also demonstrating that any limitations from when they were in the training institution doesn't have to remain a limitation. And so this is some of the things we need to explore together in supporting other young people so that they can have jobs.
I'll tell you one thing that we've started doing in Enugu State. The governor assigned us, and we are doing what we call employability data collection in Enugu now. It has just commenced. It has never happened before. So across, we have 17 local governments in the state. We have 260 wards in the state. So we have recruited field workers to collect the data for us. We need to know our people, especially the youth. What skills have they got? What are their plans? What is their employment experience? What's their educational background? What's any other demographics that we can use? We're now going to collate all this together to inform our strategic planning for job creation in the States.
Okay.
So working with an agency or organization like yours, you should be able to come in and seamlessly harvest. This is the area that you are looking to provide training, or that we are looking to provide training. Then it becomes easy for us with technology now to identify skill gaps also within our states, the key drivers of our economic growth. Is it hospitality? We want to train people in hospitality industry. Okay, this is where we are going to get those that have been prepared by their educational background for this. We train them in that regards. So also with others, and we are so tech oriented now that the government is investing so much to embrace technology and bring it down to be able to develop small but fast growing businesses. That's how we can trickle down employment down to every corner of the state. Yeah. So we are more than ready. We are the most secure states now in the country, thanks to our governor who came in, and the first thing he tackled was security.
That's great. So I can fly to Enugu now and not be afraid of
nothing at all to be afraid of.
Okay.
I walk around the streets of Enugu now, 1 a.m. without any fears. Several months ago, that wasn't the case. And investors are queuing up now to come into the States for business. So we are ready for you.
That is great news. My connection to Enugu State goes back a long way. It may surprise you that 44 years ago, wow, I graduated from an institution in Enugu State. Yeah. I graduated. I'm not saying I entered. So as a doctor from University of Nigeria in Enugu campus, I'm proud of my alma mater. Yeah. And so go back a long way in Enugu. Yeah. And my family, we lived in Enugu for quite some time. So I am excited for Enugu State. I'm excited with this beautiful story. Yeah. I'm excited. The very fact that they thought of making you a commissioner gives me confidence. They know where they're going.
Oh, thank you.
And so to our audience, we're saying that the Honorable Commissioner and I will be back on set. We promise you that to tell you our progress. Mm-hmm. We will indeed make Enugu State a flagship state, so that it is your products, your youth entrepreneurs, your youth job creation that will be a model that other states can look at. And we're proud to support that, because if many more of us as states did that, our country,
will be better.
Yes, it will be better. We'll be proud of our country. We'll position ourselves in the global arena where we belong, because I've always believed, right from when I was very young, that Nigeria has great potential. It's a great country.
So much,
It's a great country. We just need to position it where it should rightfully belongs.
That's right.
And so it's been wonderful.
Thank you.
This discussion can go on for another hour, given the richness of the content and giving the beautiful example you are indeed for our young people. Because sometimes we come and we talk, and some of them watch us, and wonder whether it's too idealistic. But it's good to actually have somebody who has done, who has aspired, done, and now is even better positioned to do more. So thank you. And in closing, let me once again reiterate so many of the things we have said in this beautiful, wonderful interview. Entrepreneurship, business, remains the cornerstone of our economy. It has its role in the greatness, in the progress, in the sustained development of this country cannot be overemphasized. If we do it right, particularly if we do it for our young entrepreneurs, who I keep saying form the majority of people demographically in this country, that is the way to sustainable progress and economic development. And so the Honorable Commissioner for Labor in Enugu State has kindly shared his time on this show to share his personal experience and also to inspire us about what he intends to do for the young people in Enugu State. We wish him well. We on C4C and on the stage will collaborate fully with you. We will passionately devote effort to making your work a reality. And so to all the young people out there, we say don't lose hope. The journey ahead is good. We're a richly endowed country with people with resources. And we're determined this time round, going forward, to make our country great. We will not go back. We will not go back. And so yes, business is important. It's the strategic part of that movement forward. And working for us, we're excited. Working with Enugu State, we will begin the long overdue escalation of the success story.
Thank you.
Thank you once again,
Thank
Honorable
you.
Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you to our beautiful viewers. Thank you to all the young people out there. See you next week.